my gosh. They're heavy. I don't know if I can hold it all up. So many books. Whoa! Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl Kayla. Welcome back to my channel. Today, we're filming in a new location in front of my bookshelf. Yay! So today I'm going to be talking to you guys about my November TBR. Which books I want to be able to get to read this November. This pile is really ambitious, and I know that, and I probably won't get to all of them, but I thought I'd let you guys know anyway. So let's get to it. The first book I want to read this month is Three Dark Crowns. This is a book that I'm reading as a buddy read with my friend Brittany. We're really splitting this up and doing just a section each week, and each week we discuss it. So just started this. I'm about 100 pages in, and it will take me all month to finish it because I'm doing it at a spread out pace, but I'm really enjoying it so far. If you guys don't know, this is a fantasy book. It's set in this fantasy world where each generation there's 3 triplet queens that are born, and they're each kind of trained in different powers, and when they get 16 they have to fight to the death to see who's going to become the actual queen. So it's very dark and kind of twisted, but I'm really into it and I'm excited to see where it goes, and I will probably continue the series once I finish this. The next book I'm reading is also in part of a series. This is Glass Sword, which is the sequel to Red Queen. Ooh, it's shiny. Got my library book. I read Red Queen sometime last year, early last year, and I really was entertained by it. I didn't have very high expectations going into it. I knew a lot of people had mixed reviews about it, and there are a lot of commonly used YA tropes in it, but I still enjoyed the story for what it was. If you don't know, Red Queen is kind of set in a dystopian future where people are separated by extreme castes. So there's the Silvers, who actually have silver blood and like special abilities, and so they're kind of the higher class and the royalty. And then there's the Reds, who just have regular red blood, like you and me, and so they are the bottom of the system. They are the slaves and the laborers in the society. And then there's this one girl, Mare Barrow is a red, but she has a silver ability. So it's about her story and kind of fighting against the rebellion. And so I recently reread Red Queen, like I said, and now I'm rereading Glass Sword. I'm about, let's see, 200 pages into this, and I'm enjoying it pretty well so far. So I hope to get to finish this month. And then if I do finish this, I also picked up the sequel from the library. This is King's Cage. This is the 3rd book in the series. And then War Storm is the 4th book, and that came out earlier this year. So I hope to be able to finish the series just to finally say that I've read it. The next pick that I got from my local library is another book that's a sequel. Wow, look at me reading all the sequels. That came out last month, so this book was marked as new at my library, but this is The Lady's Guide to Petticoats and Piracy by Mackenzie Lee. This is the sequel to The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue. I did read that earlier this year. That is a historical fiction novel. It's set in the 1700s, and it follows this guy named Monty and his friend Percy and his sister Felicity as they go on this crazy adventure all across Europe. And it was really entertaining. I actually got a good laugh out of it, but it was also kind of heartbreaking and touched on some issues that are hardly talked about today, let alone in the 1700s. So I really enjoyed it, and I'm glad to get this book, which I think is hopefully from Felicity's perspective. The next book I picked up from my library is The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. This is like a classic YA novel, and I cannot believe I've never read it. I've seen the movie with Logan Lerman and Emma Watson, and I really enjoyed it, and so I'm looking forward to reading the book. And an interesting, I didn't know it was written all in letters, and it's written in letters, but you don't know who the letters are to, which I think is such an interesting concept. But I put this one kind of towards the bottom of my TBR because I just read The Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society, which was also written in letters, and that one took me a long time to read. So I'm hoping that this one goes a little better. I think this is going to be a short read and a nice one to interject in between all of my thick fantasy novels. But I still think it's going to have some great meaning to it, and I'm really excited to see what the rave about this book is all about. Lastly, the last 3 books in my TBR this month are all by Cassandra Clare. So if you guys follow Emma Books here on YouTube, she has been hosting all year a read-along for the entire Shadowhunter Chronicles. And I've read most of them before, but now that we're later in the year, I'm getting to the point where I'm going to start reading ones that I haven't read before. And so, also, I've fallen really behind in this read-along. Whoops. So the next one that I need to pick up and reread, this will be the second time reading it for me, is City of Heavenly Fire. This book is hefty, y'all. This is the 6th book in the Mortal Instrument series. If you guys don't know about that series, literally, where have you been? Under a rock? I don't know. But the Shadowhunter Chronicles, basically this whole entire like world that Cassandra Clare has built. Shadowhunters are Nephilim. They're part angel, and their goal is to destroy demons. And so it's all the crazy ins and outs of that world. And so this is the 6th and final book from the original series, The Mortal Instruments. And then to continue with the read-along, I would have to get to some of the novella bind-ups. So the first one is the Bane Chronicles. This one follows the character Magnus Bane, who is a warlock, and he's immortal, so he's been in all of the series, whether it be in the past or in the present. And so I'm excited to just read more about his life. I have owned this book for a few years, but I've never read it, so I'm very excited to read it, and I haven't read very many short stories, so I hope I really like the format, because the next one is also a short story. The last book of my TBR, I don't know if I'm ever going to get to this, guys, because this one is also very hefty. This is Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy. I don't really want to say too much about this book, because I feel like I haven't read it yet, but I think if I tell you who it's about and where they are and what they're doing, it's already a spoiler for the Mortal Instruments. So I'm just going to leave it at that. This is another novella bind-up. It's not just Cassandra Clare, she also has some co-authors on these books. So this is also by Sarah Reese Brennan, Maureen Johnson, and Robin Wasserman. So if I get to this, that will be really great, and then I can spend the entirety of December focusing on the Dark Artifices, because not Lady Midnight, wow, where have I been for the past few years? Queen of Air and Darkness comes out on December 4th, and I'm very excited to read it, but I haven't read Lord of Shadows yet. I know. What have I been doing with my life? So, those are my goals for December, but we'll talk about that later, if I ever get through all of these. So that's it, guys. That is my TBR for November. It's very ambitious, so wish me luck. And at the end of the month, I'll do a wrap-up video, let you guys know if I actually made any dent in this. I'm going on a retreat this weekend, so it's 5 hours there and 5 hours back, so I'm hoping to get through 1 or 2 books during that drive. So thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope to do a lot more videos about books, just because I'm such a nerd and I love to read. So I hope you enjoyed this. Please like, subscribe, comment, do all the great things. Share this with your friends, and let me know what books you guys want to read this month. I really would like to know. Thank you for watching. Bye! Just really important topics. A quick, what am I saying? What is this book about? The what? What am I? But I dropped the book.